Hello folks, today we're going to be, or actually tonight, we're going to be kind of transforming this little Lego part to fit a bigger motor, because Technic Legos, they come with little motors. Well, they're not too small, but they come with little motors that you can hook up to Lego Technic sets and do work with them and cool things like that, but they're a little weak, so we're going to seriously up the power if possible. So we have this, so I'm gonna see if I can drill a hole out a little so I can fit in our motor, which I'll show you a little bit later. Alright, going the right direction. I think this might be a little too, not that close. Alright, I think this might be a little too big, but hopefully not. I'm gonna put it in lower gear. Oops, we just drilled out. Yeah, I just ruined the part underneath it. Alright, well, after a lot of re-drilling, because apparently I grossly underestimated how much drilling that would take. But anyways, we got it finished, and I attached this little impeller looking thing on there. Spins this way. It actually moves quite a bit of air radially. This thing's, way more powerful than the stock Lego motor, to say the least. Alright, so let's get it, let's see how this thing does. I don't know if you probably can't tell on the camera very well, but it is moving some air. I don't know how the audio is, but yep. It's got a 3-speed controller on here. I'm not sure which is which because this doesn't, you don't really get to see the differences in speed unless there's enough load on this motor. But it's great because it doesn't overheat if you put too much torque on it. For instance, let me see if I... no, I can't. With the blade on it that came stock, you could actually stop the motor from spinning and it wouldn't overheat like some motors. It would just kind of do nothing. Alright, well, I'll show you when I have some other stuff to hook up to it. Okay, hello folks. It's the next day and we're going to do some more testing with this thing. If you remember last night, I got this on here. Took a whole lot more drilling than I thought it would, but we finally got it on, and it's semi-secure. It's a little lopsided though, but it works. Alright, so I was doing some testing when I wasn't recording, and I figured out some pretty cool stuff. So right now it just has this on here, which is the mounting platform. So I'll turn it on. So it has medium, low, and high. That's medium, that's low, and that's high. It's an induction motor, which means it spins up quickly and to its maximum speed, and then it stays at that speed, which is probably 60 hertz. So we have a little bucket of water here. I'm just going to see, when you put a load on this, you can actually tell it changing speed. Alright, so first we'll just try it with this attachment. Wow, that moves a lot of water.
They got a motor.
I was expecting it to bog and go slowly, but this is not a little tiny motor. Alright, so the last test kind of failed. Alright, so we have here a regular Lego motor. You can see just how tiny it is compared to this. Side-by-side comparison. Yeah. It's quite a big difference. This is just a little brush DC motor, and this is a big and fairly large induction fan motor. So let me hook this up, and then we'll put this little attachment on here, which basically just allows it allows me to be able to put a shaft on here. Now this is quite entertaining. So this will spin over this motor easily. So you can see now that has a significant load on it, you can tell a different speed quite easily. So it spins it rather easily. Now if we put something on the motor, so now this motor will be turning like a generator, producing electricity, which will power these little LED lights. It doesn't use much power, but you can see now we have lights. So that's still not putting much of a load on this thing. This motor here isn't really powering much. So now let's have it power something significant. This here is a paper shredder I built, Technic Lego, completely. It has no parts on it that are not Technic Lego. But so we'll use this. Don't forget about this battery pack. It's not hooked up to anything right now. So if you look at here, you can see this motor will be spinning this, powering this, and going to this motor. So in theory, we should be using this motor to turn this motor. Now there will be a lot of load on this now because this takes a lot of power to run. That's the highest setting, and as you can see, it doesn't spin very fast. Sounds like it's dying, but I'm not sure. It's quite amazing. We're able to take rotational motion. Well, first it starts off as 120 volt electrical motion, or electrical energy, which comes down through this cord into this motor, gets turned to rotational, which then goes into this motor like a generator, which is actually quite warm, gets turned back into electrical, goes into this motor, gets turned back into mechanical. So you got so much switching back and forth that you go from 120 volts AC power down to just barely turning this thing, because when you're constantly transitioning from different kinds of energy, you lose some energy due to heat and friction, which is obviously what's going on here and all that stuff, and the wire's resistance and all that kinds of things. But at least it's a proof of concept, so you can see just how you're able to easily convert that energy to whatever form you want. And it still translates, it just loses some energy. Alright, well, hopefully in the future I'll make some more videos on this thing. More stupid stuff I think up to do with this. That hopefully doesn't involve me getting electrocuted. But, yeah. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.